again, everybody. This is Richard from North Texas Ball Cards, and we are looking at the February box from RetroWax cards. Jared Slater's cards. And let's get the itinerary out, and let me dig out all the packing peanuts so we can see what kind of goodies we got sent this time. And yes, I'm shooting multiple videos in one day. And let's try not to shake the camera too much, Richard. Try to act professional. All right, let's see what is on our dance card for today. We got 92 Bowman, 85 Donruss, 87 Donruss, 87 Topps, 89 Donruss, 89 Fleer, my personal favorite, 91 Upper Deck, Find the Nolan Wax Pack, 93 Series 1, and additional unopened packs from 82 to 94. Okay, well, let's see what kind of goodies we've got this time. We're looking at 90 Fleer, 93 Topps, 87 Donruss, my favorite, 89 Fleer, 89 Donruss, 92 Bowman, okay, that looks interesting, 91 Upper Deck, 85 Donruss, and 87 Topps. That's the first stack. Put Fleer over here. 89 Score, 91 Score, 91 Fleer. How about I flip things around? 88 Donruss, 90 Upper Deck, a hanger pack of 90 Donruss, and the last stack, we got 92 Leaf, some more 94 Fleer Ultra, 88 Topps, 91 Donruss, or 90 Donruss, never can remember, 92 Donruss, 89 Topps, more of those 93 Studios, some Upper Deck, what year, 94, and Donruss Triple Play, 93 edition. How about we'll lead off with that? We'll get started with some Donruss first. And let's don't seem to be bricky. That's good. Ryan Sandberg, Pudge Rodriguez, my personal hero. Darren Holmes, Juan Guzman. Don't know what this is. I guess it's like their puzzle piece kind of thing. We'll put that over there. There's Juan Gonzalez, another Ranger. Willie McGee, Jaime Navarro, Andy Stankiewicz, Chuck Knobloch, Steve Hosey, Ruben Sierra, and a checklist. Oh, excellent condition for these cards. And I'd like to thank you all again for coming back for yet another week. Another video, I should say, not another week. Oh, let's do the Collector's Choice Upper Deck and see what we get. Oh, kind of bricky. Phil Hyatt leads us off, and he's stuck to Ryan Thompson. I can't read this. Tori Lovello. Oh, who's the manager currently of the Diamondbacks. You know, I'd recognize that name eventually. Mickey Tettleton. Draft picks Wayne Gomes, Jeff Granger, Phil Plantier, Brian McRae, Todd Stottlemyre. Trying to speed things up because my last video was a little long, I thought. Greg McMichael, Billy Hathaway. Can't really read him. It says Hilly Hathaway. Okay. And Robin Ventura. The punch a bag for Nolan Ryan. How about we go to some old school 87 Topps. I just shot the January video a few minutes ago, so it's currently uploading to my cloud account. And if you're watching this, then that means I finally got it uploaded. Matt Young, Bip Roberts, Bruce Bochy, Bruce Bochy, not Bruce Bochy, Tim Burke, Larry Herndon, Mike Kingery, Billy Hatcher, Rance Mullenix, Jaime Kokenauer, we'll go with that, Harold Baines, Craig Lefferts, Ed Nunez, Danny Darwin, Ricky Henderson turning back the clock, Brewers leaders, BJ Surhoff, and Craig Reynolds. So the last video looked like it kind of went long. Hopefully y'all weren't too bored. All right. How about we do these 93 studios? Get those out of the way because those might be kind of bricky. No, not too terrible. Oh, these ones got the autographs and stuff on them. Chad Curtis, Charles Nagy, Lance Johnson, Jeff Bagwell, Mike Lansing, Andy Bennis, we've seen him in the last video, Chris Halls. Oh, this man needs no introduction. The Iron Man, Cal Ripken, Joe Carter. These are not wanting to cooperate. Oh, there's some paper damage. Albert Bell. And that's going to be Barry Larkin, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Barry Larkin. And a checklist. Why can they damage the checklist? Sorry, Barry, but somebody had to take it for the team. Might as well be you. All right, back to the fun and excitement. 85 Donruss. There's our puzzle piece. Al Chambers starts us off. Mike Squires, Rupert Jones, Keith Moreland, Carney Lansford, Diamond Kings, Storm Davis, Brian Harper, Alvin Davis, George Hendrick, Dwight Evans, John Franco, Greg Pryor, Tony Fernandez, Jim Pankovitz, and Joe Cowley. Only a couple of them in there I recognize from my youth. Okay, let me get my pile of crap organized. All right, back to old school 89 Donruss. Back to 4 cards, try to get all fancy and stuff. And there's the gum. We can get rid of that. And some wax damage, but we'll figure it out. Propaganda piece. Ron Darling. Jimmy Williams. That right there, in the olden days, that was considered an error. These days, they call it a print variation. But yeah, that because somebody didn't do their Photoshop right. I consider that an error. Jose De Leon, I've got several of that one. Marvell Wynn, Brian Harvey, Keith Hernandez, Hall of Famer, Teddy Higuera, Terry Francona, Andy Van Slyke, Von Hayes, Bert Blyleven, Hippolito Pena, boy, here's a name, Bob Malecki, Hall of Famer George Barrett, and also Hall of Famer Ron Guidry. There's a couple of good ones in there. Oh, I consider that Jimmy Key one an error. And Trading Card Database, I think, also does. So it goes in my error stash. But like I said, some people don't. Some people don't consider it an error. It's just a print variation, which I think is a load of crap. All right, next up is 92 Donruss. Fancy. Puzzle piece. Steve Finley. Greg Gagne. Wade Boggs, there's a good one to keep. Kevin Moss. Paul Ossenmacher. Brian Downing. Ozzie Guillen. I forgot who he's not managing for the White Sox now. He's somewhere else. Kevin Tapani. Roger Clemens, the Rocket. Tom Gordon, yeah. John Burkett. Matt Marullo. Sandy Alomar, there's another good one. Doug Drayback, always a pleasure. And Luis Salazar. How about some, if I can get hold of it, Upper Deck, 91 Upper Deck. Our checklist gets us going. Steve Decker. And a sticker. The damn Yankees. Hector Villanueva. Man, who taught these people how to pack these? Tom Brookins. Eric King. Greg Lefferts. Brent Neckert. Von Hayes. There's Deion Sanders again. Terry Pendleton, not Tom Pendleton, Terry Pendleton. Darren Dalton. Edgar Martinez. Dwayne Ward. Phil Bradley. And Hall of Famer Kirk Gibson. I've got the Deion Sanders one also that shows it's like him trying to lead off from a base. It's got him in his baseball uniform, followed by his morphing into his football uniform when he played with the Falcons. 92 Bowman. I keep threatening to do a video on some of my more unique ones in my collection, and since I'm already thinking about doing videos anyway, maybe I'll do that one too once I get the March box shot. Okay, what did I say these were? These are 92 Bowman. So we're going to look at Joe Mack, Matt Stairs, Jeff Johnson. Let's get everybody back in order. Robin Ventura, fancy gold one. Benji McGill with the Rangers, stuck to him. Benji Gill. Kevin Elvin. I'm going to learn how to read. Elvin Paulino. Dave Nilsson. Ryan Klesko. Chris Martin. Randy Tomlin. Cal Eldred. Harold Baines. Raul Mondesi. And Jim Abbott. And Scott Hatterberg. That's not bad. Not a bad set. First time, I think that's the first time I've gotten any of those in the box. So, good job, Jared. Okay, let's see, what have we got here? What have we done yet? How about some Donruss? How about some, what year is that? 80, no, these are 91, if I'm not mistaken. 91 Donruss? Yes, 91, I guessed right. Puzzle piece, boom. Dave Steeb, Ron Kittle, Monty Ferris, Chuck Krim, Ozzie Guillen again, Francisco Oliveras, Herm Winningham, Pedro Munoz, Felix Jose, Ron Searcy, Mike Benjamin, Jesse Barfield, Jose Vizcaino, Marvin Freeman, Ernie Riles, and Luis Gonzalez. Okay, come on. I'm trying to keep my arrangement back in order. Okay, how about, let's do the hanger pack. Hanger pack of 90 Donruss. All right, as I was saying, here's our 1990 Donruss. Let's get rid of our puzzle pieces. And stack number 1 is Mike Felder, Ron Jones, Jeff Robinson, Ivan Calderon, Tom Glavine, the correct one this time, Luis Polonia, Ken Caminetti, Tim Loudner, Steve Bedrosian, Henry Cotto, Ben McDonald, a checklist, Andres Galarraga, John Cangelosi, John Olerud, and Frank White. Stack number 2, Derek Lilliquist, Will Clark, Ryan Sandberg MVP, Rick Sutcliffe, Kevin Seitzer, Ron Robinson, Kurt Wilkerson, Willie Randolph, Jack Clark, Jeff Peterick, I guess, Glenn Hoffman, Joe Girardi again, we saw him earlier, Tom Bernansky, Ed Whitson, Tom Foley, and Gary Gaetti. Last pack of the hanger pack, Bo Diaz, Wes Gardner, Scott Terry, Mike Greenwell, Bobby Bonilla, Alan Trammell, Kenny Rogers, Jose Oquendo, Tony Phillips, Eric Show, Jerry Reed, not the singer, Tom Cantellotti, Steve Jeltz, Dr. Strange, Doug Strange, Ron Karkovice, and Jeff Ennis finishes off the hanger pack. All right, we'll put those guys aside. And let's see, how about some Upper Deck, 90 Upper Deck. All right. Bill Landrum, 90 Upper Deck, if I didn't mention that. Joey Bell, Andre Dawson, Red Sox sticker. Man, I got these all messed up. Oral Hershiser, Floral, Dan Gladden, Burt Blyleven, Steve Searcy, Lee Guterman, Dwight Gooden, and who are you? Steve Sachs and the Yankees checklist, Tony Armas, Jose Alvarez, Pete Smith, Rance Mulliniks, and Mark Williamson finishes off the pack. All right, how about we get some more Donruss? How about 88 Donruss? Puzzle piece. Rocky Childress, John Tudor, Darryl Miller, Dave LaPointe, Mike Loind, Gary Thurman, Dennis Martinez, Jose Rijo, Jerry Don Galeaton, Mike Devereaux, Jay Booner, Spike Owen, Jim Morrison, Not of the Doors, Pete Stanacek, and Steve Kiefer finishes off this pack. Okay, well, let's do another pack of Donruss. Seems to be a Donruss heavy box this time. And these are 89 Donruss, 89. Puzzle piece. Bruce Hurst is going to get us going. Dave Anderson, Chris Bozio, Rick Shue, Rick Roden, Gary Thurman, Willie Upshaw, Tim Cruz, Oil Can Boyd, Fred Tolliver, Manny Lee, Mike Campbell, Nick Asaski, Kevin Gross, and John Candelaria. Okay, we're on a roll now. How about, I've had enough Donruss. How about a palette cleanser of 88 Topps? And the gum had to hit Franklin Stubbs. Gum over there. See if there's any. There's our propaganda piece. A little bit of wax there. Put the wax and the gum on the bottom. Frank Lucchese, Marty Barrett, Manny Lee, Jack Clark working the unibrow, Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson off center, Alex Trevino, Gene Mouch, Sid Fernandez, George Frazier, Alfredo Griffin, Greg Ketterett, Don Baylor, Hall of Famer, Jay Tibbs, Joe Bover, and there's the Franklin Stubbs with a little bit of gum residue. Not too terrible of a pack, but nothing fantastic either. Alrighty, how about some Fleer? Fleer 91. 91, very good year. Cardinal sticker, don't need that. Oh boy, the bright yellow mustard ones. Todd Stottlemyre, Tim Belcher, Craig Lefferts, Frank Viola, Mike Walker, Gary Thurman, Bobby Thigpen, Tom Bernansky, Jerome Walton, Milt Thompson, Bill Hasselman, Alex Fernandez, Kevin Belcher, thought we just saw him, and Dale Murphy. Eek, yellow. I can't believe they actually chose to do that. Somebody made a conscious decision to do that. Okay, let's see. How about some more score? 91 score. More score and something else. Knife needs to be sharpened. All right. Keith Hernandez, Randy Milligan, Dave Winfield, the great Dave Winfield, Greg Myers, Eric Plunk, Tony Fernandez, Jeff Manto, rookie prospect, Jose Offerman, Dave Smith, Greg Maddox, Hall of Famer, Brian Harper. I wonder if that's Bryce's dad. Maybe. Robin Ventura, trivia card, Walt Weiss, Tim Burke, Craig Lefferts, and there's Tim Belcher again. Okay, I think this is, let me look, see. I think this is the last Donruss. So let's go ahead and get the last Donruss out of the way. 87 Donruss. Puzzle piece. Kevin Mitchell, Phil Necro, Milt Thompson, Dave Steeb, Ozzie Smith, Dale, Jerry Hairston, Ernie Riles, Scott McGregor, Greg Gross, Eric King, Paul Molitor, Brian Holton, Jeff Hamilton, sorry, I was watching my camera bounce, and John Denny. I still haven't found a better way of mounting my phone. I've got a gooseneck mount, but it's mounted to the table, so it kind of bounces a little bit. If anybody has any suggestions, I'll be happy to listen to them. So just leave them in the comments. How about some 94 Fleer Ultra? Feels like a very big brick of cards. They're kind of bricky. Greg Harris, Ricky Bodolico, I guess. Tom Benzinger, stuck to somebody. To Tyrone Hill, Bob Wickman, Will Clark. See, yeah, he's stuck to somebody too. Will Clark, Joe Rosselli, Joey Eisen, Brady Anderson, Paul Quantrill, Matt Walbeck, sorry, my hand's getting in the way, Chad Osia, stuck to Terrell Wade, it looks like. Yeah, Terrell Wade. And John Crook finishes out the pack. My voice is a little down because my wife walked in just a few minutes ago, and so I'm trying not to interrupt her in her conference call next door in her office. Anyway, Topps 93. As I said, we're done with Donruss, so we're done with no more Donruss. We got a Leaf, a Score, 90 Fleer, and 89 Fleer. John Crook, again, we just saw him. And the kid, Ken Griffey Jr., Derek Bell, Scott Erickson, John Vanderwall, Phil Stevenson, don't know why he needs to be in gold, Lenny Harris, Kevin Reimer with the Rangers, put him aside, Luis Rivera, Rod Nichols, Wally Whitehurst, Ozzie Smith, Shane Mack, Mike Stanley, and Kent Herbeck. I just dropped one on the floor. Who did I drop? I dropped John Crook. Sorry, John. Okay, how about let's put Mr. Ranger card here. Where did I put my other ones? Oh, there he is. Up there. And 92 Leaf. Okie dokie. Tony Phillips is going. Greg Ketterat, Luis Gonzalez, Scott Erickson, Alan Trammell, Chris Hammond, Kevin Mitchell, Greg Myers, Mark Carrion, Brent Main, Andy Bennis, Doc Gooden, Junior Felix, Don Slott, and Luis Mercedes. Alrighty, how about let's do Fleer since we're going to end with Fleer. We'll have a score pack in between. This is 1990 Fleer baseball trivia question thing. Jack Doherty, Spike Owen, Willie Wilson, Dan Petrie, Rick Aguilera, Damon Berryhill, Tracy Jones, Benito Santiago, Mr. Checklist, Greg Litton, Wes Gardner, Les Lancaster, Greg Brock, Mike Felder, and Terry Leach closes out this pack. We're almost to the end of the February box, boys and girls. I'll wait, and I'll probably have to shoot the other one, the March box, probably tomorrow. Or at least wait till the wife goes down for her nap. Man, this knife is dull. Okay, this is 89 score. Ricky Henderson, I'll hang on to that one. Claudio Washington, Henry Cotto, Tommy Herr, World Series Trivia, Kevin Bass, Dickie Fawn, John Candelaria, Luis Agallo, Scott Bales, Rick Honeycutt, Al Newman, Roberto Kelly, Sil Camposano, Paul Molitor, Al Leiter, Jack's dad, not Jack's son, Jack Leiter's dad, and Wrigley Field. First night game. Yeah, Jack Leiter is Al's son and Mark's nephew, if I remember correct. And Jack is in the starting rotation for the Rangers this year. He does pretty good from what I understand. All right, last pack of the box, and I just tore it open. 89 Fleer. You already know which ones we're looking for. The white versions of the Billy Ripken cards, and Randy Johnson with the Marlboro box, and Jeff Treadway with the crosshair. And I think there's a Ken Griffey one too. Ranger sticker. We still don't want it, even though it's a Ranger. Steve Lyons, Ron Robinson, John Dobson, Mark Langston, Don Robinson, Dave Bergman, Oral Hershiser, Mickey Tettleton, Bill Doran. I saw the bill and got a bit of a heart attack thinking it was going to be the Billy Ripken. Dennis Eckersley, Dave Winfield, Hal Morris, Greg Harris, Jeff Russell, and Gerald, not the refrigerator, Perry. And that concludes this box. That's the February box from the February RetroWaxBox from Jared's Cards, Jared Sports Cards. Like I said, I'll put a link in the description to this one. So if you wish to join it, it's a monthly subscription box. Go right ahead. He really has some good product, and I'm glad to support him. This is Richard from North Texas Ball Cards. I'll be shooting the next one very shortly. And thanks y'all for watching. We'll see y'all in the next one.